Today, I'd like to talk about what CEOs want and what CEOs actually need. Some work that's been done suggests that 62% of CEOs intend to grow their business. I look at several different surveys, and maybe it's closer to 55% because of the economy right now. But grow you must. It's an imperative. You have to at least beat the inflation rate in order to be growing, and you need to be beating what's the industry norm for you. Another 20% of CEOs intend to make their business easier to run. I'll suggest in a moment that that's because they want more time away from the business. And then there's another maybe 15-20% that are believing that they're ready to sell the business. But unfortunately, 80% of the time, their business isn't going to have the value it needs for them to be able to leave the business. And even if they do put up the business for sale, a very small percentage of them actually do sell. So one way to look at this is to consider that the base of your business is needing to produce predictable profits and cash flow. That will create more money today, and it will make it easier to run today because you won't be worrying about making payroll, you won't be worrying about making bank payments and all kinds of things. So it's a foundation for growth. It will definitely increase your value because most businesses sell based on a multiple of the predictable profits of the business and the incoming cash flow. The second thing you should do is look to that growth, having predictable, sustainable growth. If you do ever sell a business, it is that predictable growth that's going to be a major factor in determining the final value of the business based on the multiple. You can get an extra 2 or 3x multiple if you have proof of sustainable growth. And that sustainable growth will actually produce both more money and make it easier tomorrow to run your business. And then the ultimate thing is, what is the value of your business? Now, you don't have to transfer it to somebody else, to PE, to an IPO, to your management team, to an ESOP. You can make the business so easy to run that you can exit the day-to-day business and treat it as a passive investment, just like you do much of everything else in your 401k, in your real estate, and other things that you've invested in. You get the choice then as to whether you're going to exit the business, or you get to exit the business on your terms. So looking at this from another perspective, 10 to 15% of CEOs want to get more money out of the business. Whether it's revenue, certainly it better be profits, and it should be what they get to take out of the business as their salary and benefits. Another 20 to 25% of people want to get more time away from the business. They want it easier to run so that they're not being taken away from their family and all of the things that they could be doing with their time when they're stuck worrying about their business. And then finally, the majority of CEOs are looking for both more time and more money from the business. If you look at that, it's kind of obvious that predictable profits and cash flow directly translates to more money and easier today. Predictable, sustainable growth translates directly to more money and easier tomorrow. And then the predictable, transferable value leads to being able to sell or to exit the day-to-day operation of the business. Now, it's also true, as I said, predictable, sustainable growth will factor into the multiple that you will get should you choose to exit the business. The sustainable growth obviously makes it more money, and it will make it easier today. And the predictable profits and cash flow is a direct link based on your industry to what the ability to sell the business will be in terms of its multiple. And you can draw links, many more links, between transferable value, sustainable growth, and profits and cash flow to whether or not you're making more money and making it easier today, whether you're making more money and making it easier for tomorrow, and whether you are planning to sell the business or to exit the day-to-day operations and treat it as a passive investment. That's my thought for today. Please enjoy it. And if you'd like to go further, on my website there is a link, and you can take a look at how well prepared your business is to be able to have predictable profits and cash flow, 8 questions, predictable sustainable growth, 8 questions, predictable transferable value, 8 questions, plus 1 extra, which depends on the marketplace for mergers and acquisitions in your industry. Take a look at that. It's a banner at the top of my website, businessaccelerants.com. Thanks, and I wish you great success in your business. Let's accelerate to make it happen. You've heard the challenges, the triumphs, and/or the tools and strategies. Now it's time to apply them. Thanks for joining us on Business Accelerants Memos. For show notes and more tools designed for middle market leaders, visit us at www.businessaccelerants.com. Until the next dispatch, keep your momentum high and continue to accelerate your success.